All right, so did Montreal, drank my face off. I was already on fumes, but I fly back from Montreal at I land at 10 at night, and the next morning I'm flying to Chicago, connecting, and then going to Davenport, Iowa.
Okay.
I've never been. You got to land in Moline and drive 15 minutes to Davenport.
Oh, okay.
All Iowa. Real farm town, corn husking, wide open. Not easy to get to. So, land in New York. Wife's like, you're here. And I go, don't get too comfortable. I'm leaving in 12 minutes. Go to bed. Look at my phone right before I go to bed. Flight canceled. 9:30 a.m. flight canceled. Connecting in Davenport. Or connecting in Chicago at noon. 1 p.m. flight Davenport. So I go, well, that's that. And you kind of go, I'm burning the candle at both ends. I've done a million pods, a million interviews, a million sets. I was just in another country.
Yes.
Maybe I'll skip the gig at the Raccoon Motel.
Is that the Raccoon Motel?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Have you heard of it?
No.
No one has. It's a cool room, but it's like a little shoebox. It's one of those you're coming here? What are you doing? I'm like, I need to work out this material.
Okay.
So
I want to go for the party.
Missed the flight. I don't want to be a pirate. Missed the flight. Text my guy. I go, flight's canceled. What can you do? He goes, well, we'll figure this out. They want you to go.
Of course.
So he goes, beep, boop, boop, boop. I got you 7 a.m. tomorrow. And I go, God, that means I got to get up at 5:30, get to the airport at 6. You know the drill.
Of course. I hate the drill.
It's already 1, by the way. So I'm just like, God, shit, dick, bitch, cunt, fuck, twat. So I go, all right, fuck it, give me the 7. Beep, boop, boop, boop. Set the alarm. Hey, I'll get 4 hours. What the hey? Lady wakes me up. Hey, what are you doing? And I go, well, I set my alarm. It hasn't gone off yet. She goes, I don't know. It's 6:48.
Oh, boy.
So I look at my
Kevin!
phone. I put the alarm for 5 a.m. Never clicked it. You never hit that
click.
on.
I know that. I've
know
done
the
that.
click.
Yeah, I've done it. Well, this is where we differ. I check the alarm 17 times because I'm a psychopath. But I've done it where during the check, I'm like, whoa,
Yes.
baby, and I have to put it on. So I know about the no click.
No click, and so I go, and you have that thing maybe I can still make it. It's 6:48. The flight is leaving at 7.
Yeah, the doors close in 2 minutes.
Yes. So I'm like, and it was JFK, by the way, which is,
You should have stayed at the TWA hotel.
Stayed there. You're right. So I was like, son of a bitch. So I text my agent. I go, there was a tanker. It flipped over on Highway 9. We're all standing here. Everything's on fire. The firemen are here. 9/11 again. People are crying. Babies are screaming. So he's like, all right, we'll find something. And he's in L.A., by the way. So that's 3:38 in the morning or whatever, 3:48 in the morning. So he's scrambling, and he's like, I got you on another thing, but it's not going to make the connection to Moline. It's too late.
Right.
And I was like, well, shit, fuck that. And I fell back asleep.
Oh, boy.
I think my body was kind of subconsciously, it didn't let me click the alarm
right.
Because it was like, you need sleep. You're
Yeah.
dying here.
Yes.
Because I never have that click thing. I've taken 1,000,005. I've never had the click problem. But whatever. So I fell back asleep. I get up at 11. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? The wife's like, what are you doing? You got to be at the airport. I go, oh, you're right. And I just get up and I just go to the airport.
JFK?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I'm getting all these texts like, where are you? What's going on? How, my agent's been scrambling on this at 3:30 in the morning. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on my way to JFK. I thought you were at JFK. I'm like, well, I went home and came back, So it's already on me. Finally, we get to JFK and he goes, I got you a flight, but it's out of LaGuardia. So I go, so I go back out, go to LaGuardia, and I fucked up. So I'm just like, I'll do it. We get to LaGuardia. I got you on standby. Great. We get on standby. I'm 3rd. Pretty good. Standby, Jeff Leibowitz. He's number 1. Woo, we got you on. Yeah, all right. Hey, Bobby Collins, number 2. So I'm like, all right, I'm getting on this puppy.
It's a star-studded flight.
I know. And then they go, Johnny Mathis. And they go, ooh, doing? I'm like, Johnny Mathis, where's he? He was number 26. And they go, he had more status. And I go, status.
Oh.
So
Everything about you drives me nuts.
oh, well, it's going to get
Fly
worse.
One Airlines, specifically. You get your own line. You call them. They put you on.
I know. But this was, well, here's the other thing is my agent's like, we got to connect you in Moline. And eventually I was like, fuck Moline. Let's just get me to Chicago and I'll drive.
Of course.
But he didn't think of that.
Right.
So I had to tell him that. So he's like, all right, fuck it. I got you on this one. So I didn't get on that flight. We got on standby on another one. I didn't get on that one.
Ugh.
So now it's 2:30, 3:30, 4:30. And finally, I'm just like, get me to Chicago. They get me to Chicago. Flight is at 9:30 p.m. So I stayed at the airport the whole day. Finally get there. I get to Chicago at 11:49 p.m.
This is show nights. You've missed the
I
shows.
missed the both shows.
Oh,
So I'm getting
raccoon.
messages, what the hell, you suck, you're a piece of shit. And I'm like, yes, I know. Finally, after a day at the airport, I get on this flight. I hit the lounge. I must have had 7 Cape Cods. You know those?
Cape Codder.
Cape Codder,
right? Yeah.
sorry.
Cape Cod's a chip.
Ah, yes, at an island. But I had 7 Cape Codders.
I think it's a peninsula.
I think you're right.
Maybe there's a canal. So I guess if you count the canal, it's islandy.
Okay, island boy.
I'll let it slide.
All right, it's sliding. So just had about 18 Cape Codders. I finally get on the plane at 9:30. We fly there. I'm doing all the messaging, and it's very nice because your agent's like, you sat at the airport all day, you changed it, you're such a trooper. And in my head, I'm like, I missed the flight. But he doesn't know that until now. So finally get to Chicago, and Youngblood is opening.
Ah.
So he's just been sitting in Chicago because he's like, I was gonna land in Chicago, and I rented a car to drive to Davenport. But since you're the headliner, I'll just wait for you in Chicago. And I said, sure. So I got us both a hotel downtown, right on the river. Chicago is so great.
It's the best. It's unbelievable.
It's
I'm there in
unbelievable.
September.
Oh, there you go.
One night only.
A lot of gays there.
Absolutely. That's one of 2 places I can do a theater.
Hey.
So thank you, Chicago.
Beantown?
Yeah.
All right.
Probably L.A. or Seattle,
I
too.
bet you could.
Yeah, Irvine. I did some good numbers.
Maybe Denver?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. Once that kid comes out, you'll be selling more tickets. You're more relatable.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
All right.
All right, so Youngblood's there.
Okay,
By
so
the way,
you-
he's not just sitting there. He's gambling, he's smoking,
Yes.
he's drinking, he's fucking.
Well, that's the thing is I check into the hotel. I'm on fumes. I've been sitting at the airport all day. 12 Cape Codders. I drank on the plane. Finally landed in Chicago, and I go, I'm going to bed. It's been a crazy day, crazy week. And he goes, well, let's get one. And I go, all right. So we go out all night. We hit the
course.
town. We put them back. We're sitting at a bar in Chicago, downtown. And it's Saturday night, so the place is going apeshit.
Right.
And Chicago downtown on Saturday is not pretty. I mean, it's just people blaring music, fist fights, puking, girls falling in the street, all that shit.
Yeah, it's like, I've always said it. I think Derek said it first. It's like Boston and New York had a baby in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Very similar.
Very sim.
Yeah.
So we tie one on and we go, we're all banged up and it's like 5 a.m. I'm like, we are getting up early and we're driving to Davenport so we can chill because now we have 3 shows in Davenport because I threw one on to Sunday. So it's 5, 7, and 9.
Okay, that's a long day.
Yeah, they wouldn't do all 4. Like, we just can't spin that.
Now, what is the drive from Chicago to Davenport, I wonder?
2.5.
What? This whole time you could have just flown to Chicago? That's insane. That's nothing.
They didn't even think of that. They're like, we're getting you to Moline.
Oh.
I
That should have been
know.
the plan from the get-go.
I know. They don't have a lot of, all their clients, it's like Sebastian, Bert, Gaffigan, all these big names. And I'm like, they're not willing to do that, I think. They also fly
Why?
private. So I'm like, I'll do the drive. I don't care. Give me a car. I'll go there. But they didn't think of that.
Well, what can you do? No point in festering now.
Uncle festering. So we get up pretty early. We're up in the morning. We get a little breakfast in us, and we get out the door 10:45. And I go, hey, it's a nice little car. And I go, I'm driving. He drives like a grandma. So I go,
Okay.
I'm doing 95 the whole way because I just want to get there, maybe get a nap in, lunch, jerk off. So I'm driving. Now I'm driving the bus, and he's going, boy, oh boy, these EVs.
EV.
Electric
vehicle. Eddie Vedder.
And I go, why'd you get the EV? He goes, it was either an F-150 giant jacked up truck or this. And it was like a little Honda CR-V type thing, a Chevy Bolt.
Oh.
So I go, yeah, good choice. This thing's little and it moves. And he goes, what's going on there? I charged it overnight, and it's just, these EVs stink.
Yeah, I think so. Because I've heard this. You have to pull over. Sarah just got a ride from a comic. He dropped her off in a store. He's like, all right, I got to go find a pump station or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, charging station.
And he had to sit there and charge for like 3 hours from like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Yes.
It's crazy.
And I was going like 95, 98 miles an hour, so it was just like dropping like a phone battery when you're jerking off on Wi-Fi, you know, just woo! And I'm like, we're not going to make it. And he's like, yeah, we got to pull over and charge it. And I'm like, dude, come on. This is the plan. We got to haul ass.
Isn't there a backup tank?
No tank.
Zero tank.
It is all EV.
Because it's not a hybrid.
No high.
Boy,
Grid.
you need the hybrid.
I know, and it's like a cell phone. At least you can get that little pack, that box that you can plug into and put that in your pocket.
Yeah.
They need a surfboard-sized battery you can put on top of a car.
And some solar on there, maybe.
Ooh, yes. Solar babies. So he goes, we got to stop. So we get out, we get to Rochelle, Illinois.
God.
We got about an hour out. That's it. We got an hour out.
Isn't it fascinating? There's only like 100 town names. Every state has all the same town names as every other town.
True. Springfield. That's all I can think of.
Rochelle. Yeah, but there's others.
There's
Plenty
others,
of examples.
yeah. No, you're right.
Wilton, Milton, Manchester.
Yes.
Other ones.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Paris, Texas.
All right, so you go to Rochelle.
We go to Rochelle.
Rochelle, the musical.
That's from Milan to Minsk, and I go, okay. So, and it's also like you're doing this shit where you're like, okay, I'm Googling charging station. Oh, there's one over here. Oh, that's Tesla only. All right, you get back in the car. There's one over here. Oh, that's for this kind of car. So we need like a generic piece of shit charging station. We find one in a church parking lot, finally. There's no one on it. We plug it in. We're at 50 right now. 50's not good.
50's no good?
No, it goes up to 300. So 50 we went from 300 to 50 in an hour.
So it's not a percentage.
No.
It's like grams or something.
No, it's miles.
You
go
miles.
50 miles.
Oh,
and we're still an hour and a half away. So what's that? 80 miles? I don't know. So
I have no idea.
We're not going to make it. And it's not one of the things where it's like, hey, it's on E, but fuck it, man. We got another 20 in this thing. You know, you got to just believe it.
Well, the phone, believe that. The phone, 1% always lasts longer than all the other percentages.
True. That
so maybe
is true.
Is it like that? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, but we didn't want to land in the middle of the highway and the just cornfield, just sitting there with an EV.
And what happens? The car just stops?
I think it just goes. A little pinwheel hits.
Oh boy.
I know. So we found a charging station. We plug it in. We go, all right, there's a Mexican restaurant around here. Let's get a margarita and a bucket of chips and wait 20 minutes and pop right back in. So we're at 50. We hit the charging station. We walk around. Shit town. I went to a firehouse. We started talking to the firemen there. What's up, fellas? Hey, can we use the pole? All that shit. They were cool. Small town, like out of a movie. And Hayseed goes by. There's Main Street, you know. And we go, oh, it's been 20 minutes. Let's go back. So we go back, open the door, check the dash. 52! We went up 2 notches. So we go, this isn't going to work. Because it says charging time finished at 10 p.m. The gig's at 5.
This is brutal. And I've heard so many stories like this. I have friends that drove cross country in an electric vehicle. They said it's trying.
It's hell.
You have to keep stopping for 12 hours at a time.
Yeah, and you think a gas station's hard to find. Find a fucking charger for a Chevy Bolt.
In the middle of the country, by the way.
Yes. It's like having an Android. And you go, hey, you got a charger? I got an iPhone. That's what it felt like. So we're in hell. It's blazing hot. We're hungover. We're on no sleep. I want to kill myself. The whole time my agent's like, if you want to just cancel this gig, you know, I'll understand. It's the Raccoon Motel. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's 8 people it holds, you know. But I was like, no, I'm doing the gig. Fuck it. So, okay. So, just a pure Hail Mary. Youngblood goes,
Hail Mary.
I know a guy in this town who grew up in this town. I'm going to call him. We called a guy, Daniel Van Kirk. He's a comedian. He's got a podcast with Rory Scovel.
I don't know.
Funny guy, hilarious guy, cool guy. He grew up there, and we go, hey man, we're sitting in Rochelle here, and we're stranded. We got a car on the blower. It's not working. We're fucked. And he goes, well, my mom lives there.
Oh my God!
If you want to borrow her car, it's like a Jeep. Whatever, you can do it. And we're like, is that weird? And he's like, she's in an old folks home. She's old. She's not using the car.
She's an old folk.
Home. So we're like, I mean, if that's cool with you, we'll bring it back after the show. And he was like, yeah, no problem. So he boop, boop, boop. Hello, Mom. He calls his mom, and she's like, yeah, come on over.
Oh dear.
So yeah, so we get in the EV with our 50 degrees, and we drive 10 seconds to this old folks' home. Boop. They buzz us in. We go, hey, we're here to steal an old lady's car. They go, oh, you got it. And we go right upstairs, and we're in this old lady's apartment at the home.
Oh my God, this is like Sideways.
It is.
You stop off to see the old lady and steal money out of her drawer.
Yeah, and I did, and I fucked her.
Great film.
Great movie. So she's like, hello. She's got a walker. She couldn't even look. She was so old that she never saw me. I could have robbed her whole house because she never went. I don't think she could look up.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah. So Henry Walker Bush.
Herman Walker.
So she goes, while you're here, I'm weak and old. Can you move my Barca lounger? And I have another one in the bedroom. Could you move mine? She had one of those, for old people to like lay back and sit up like a Craftmatic.
Oh, okay. Like O.J. Simpson in the fucking
yes,
Nürnberg.
Kraft mac and cheese. So we go, sure. And so, we unplugged the thing and just got all these blankets on it and dried food. And we're like, hey, these things are heavy as shit. It's 900 pounds. It's electric. It's metal. So we're like, we're sweating out gin. And we fucking moved this Craftmatic. And then she goes, the other one's in the bedroom. I'm like, all right, here we go. You got to be nice because she's super old and letting us use her car.
Yeah, she's saving your life.
So we go in the bedroom. Hey, we get this thing, ship it, cut it. We're trying to get through the door, hook it, twist it, spin it, and we finally, we land that fucker right in the old spot. You can see the imprint. We put it down there. Woo, we plug it in. She's like, oh, thank you. Okay. And then we go, well, we got to be running. Can we get those keys there, Gertrude? And she goes, the keys. And she, hightails it over to the counter, and she's digging through. Oh, I know I got them around here somewhere. We're going, come on, Myrtle. Where are the fucking keys to the Jeep? Finally, she finds them. Woo, we're out of that place with a puff of smoke. We said thank you. I took a mint. We get back down there. We fire up that car. So here's the plan. Time has been ticking. It took a while to move that shit and all that stuff. So
sure. We
get in the Jeep. It's a Ford Escape and gas. I love gas.
Yes.
It's got a full tank. So he goes, all right, we're going to bring the EV to his cousin's house. We're going to plug it in. There's an adapter to just plug it right into the wall.
This man's an angel, by the way.
I know. He saved the whole trip. We'd be fucked without him. Thank you, Daniel. So we go to the house and knock on the door. No one's home. They're at a baseball game of 20 minutes away. It's so cute. These small towns. There's a windmill and a little lawn jockey. It's like Americana.
I want to move there.
It's beautiful. So we open the garage door. I popped a beer out of the kegerator, and we plugged the car in. So now we're like, all right, we got the car plugged in. We'll just go do the gig. By the time we get back, this car will be fully charged, and then we'll swap cars and leave their car here, and we're good to go.
We all the way home.
Pretty good. So when we got the car, I rewarded myself with some Wendy's. I go, look, we've been driving. We're hungover. Before we switch cars, let's get a Frosty.
I love fast food drive-through on a road trip.
The best. And I love a Frosty. I take the wallet out of my treat, get the Frosties. Here we go. And throw the wallet in the dash. We're having a great time. We plug the car in. We flip-flop the cars out. We change all the luggage, all that shit. We say thank you to no one. We close the garage door. We get in the car. Now I'm flying down the highway because I'm like, we are getting to Davenport, motherfucker. We're high-fiving. I can't believe we pulled that off. Holy shit, the Barca Lounger, the EV, the dog in the house, and we pet it. We finally get to Davenport at 4.
Okay, shows at 5. You're there at 4.
Shows at 5. 3 shows, sold out. We get there. We check into the hotel. Holy hell. It was a arduous journey, and she goes, I need a credit card to check in. Left the wallet on the dash in the other car because of the Frosty.
Ah, the Frosty.
I had to get the Frosty. I took the wallet out. I paid. I threw the wallet on the dash.
Corn cob pipe and eyes of snow, whatever.
So
Frosty the Blowman.
I fucked us. So we were gonna go do the shows. Pretty good. We're gonna go do the shows, get a night's sleep. I was gonna fly out of Moline the next day. Now we gotta go back to get the wallet. So I gotta fly out of Chicago now.
Oh my Christ!
But if you fly out of Chicago and you miss your first flight, they cancel your second one. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, because the whole flight gets canceled. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, even though you paid for the flights, if you don't make the first one, they just assume you're not coming to the second one. But I'm coming.
Right.
Right in that Japanese mouth. So everybody's mad. I'm pissed. Morale is low. Corbin Lee Master meets us out there. He hosts. The shows are great.
That's good.
Yeah, shows are great. So we do the shows. We have some great time. Work on a lot of bits. Fun in the green room. You get a little oasis from all the hell just in that green room with the shows. You're like, you got to be here.
Yes,
The crowds are awesome.
Love the green room.
Love the green room. So we get back in the car after all the shows. Drive to Chicago or drive to Rochelle to switch cars. First, we got to fill our car up. Or her car, the old lady's, just to be nice, because she gave it to us full. We fill that up. We head back, and we go, well, it's been charging for 12 hours.
Uh-huh.
It was at, 48 when we left it. It's got to be at 1 million by now. So we get there. I think you can see where this is going. It's, middle of the night.
My wallet's gone.
I was worried about that, because it was sitting on the dash, but it's Pleasantville.
Right.
So we get there. We go, all right, we'll switch all the luggage. The fucking crickets are chirping. It's so late. You can see the stars. We did all the shows. We get back. Check the thing. 81.
What?
81. I'm never getting an EV again.
What?
81.
You got to be kidding me.
I can't believe it. So we... Beep, 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 beep,
it's like a bad outlet, I feel like.
I think it just takes hours for this thing to charge. And also, it's through an adapter, through the wall.
That's
it's
what
going
I
to
mean.
lose.
I think you got to get the big hose.
The super.
Like a big fucking black guy hose.
Yes. We need the Negro hose.
Cock.
Yes. We had no hose. We had a little Asian hose. But, so I go, how far is it? He goes, 88 miles. I go, we're doing it.
88 miles an hour.
I am just kidding. 121 gigawatts.
1.21.
Sorry. So I'm going to just hit the gas and not stop until we get to Chicago at the downtown hotel.
Now, can you go down hills and put it in neutral and coast? I mean, how does
you
it
can
work?
do that, but
Okay.
it's the Midwest. It's just
right. It's very
flatter
flat.
than my sister's tits. So I go, he's like, it's not going to work. We got to stop and charge. I go, we're not charging. I am just, if this thing goes, if a cliff shows up, I'm driving right off the cliff. Like, we are moving.
Right.
And he's like, it's not going to work. I'm like, well, either you're coming or you're not, because I am hitting the gas. And he goes, all right, well, you can't do 95 because
Okay.
that'll just drain it.
Right.
So I was like, you're right. All right. So
Did
the
you do cruise control?
we did that.
Okay.
So I said, all right, the speed limit's 70, put it on 65, and I won't even touch the gas, I won't touch the brake, but if anybody gets in the way, I'm hitting them.
All right.
So we're on cruise control, and that thing is just ticking away like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, God, I hate this fucking vehicle.
He's been drinking all night. I'm sober as a judge because I gotta be up. I gotta get through this drive. And he's like, "This not gonna work, man. What are you, crazy?" And I'm like, "Shut up, it's gonna work." And he's like, "Well, 74, 73, 71," and it's just flying by. And I'm like, "God damn these EVs!" So I just keep going, and then this car is just putting along, and I can see Chicago. I can see it.
Wow, okay, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We get to Chicago, and he goes, well, here's the thing. We got airport hotels because we're both flying out.
Airport's in the outskirts,
Yes.
so this is good.
That helps. So we make it to the hotel, and he goes, I'm at Midway. He's at O'Hare. Or I'm at O'Hare. He's at Midway. So I'm like, how far is Midway? 40 minutes.
Yeah, they're not close.
They're not close. We definitely don't have enough juice to get him to Midway. He rented the car. I can't leave him hanging. So he
Well,
goes,
you could take a lift. You could cover the lift.
what do you mean?
He's got to go one place. You got to go the other.
But the car's done.
Right.
Yeah. I got the wallet back.
But a lift.
What do you mean?
Uber, Lyft.
Who?
Whoever needs to go to the airport.
But he's got to bring the car back.
Oh,
It's a rental.
I see. I thought you had made it to the thing.
We made it to O'Hare,
Ah,
and he's got to go to Midway with the car.
I see.
But I have us both in this O'Hare hotel. I didn't think about Midway.
I
There's
see.
a turn of a knife at every goddamn corner.
I gotcha.
So he goes, well, I got to charge it. And I go, well, I got to charge it. I'll charge it with you. I can't just go to bed and leave him hanging.
Right.
And so he's like, well, I'm not going to stay in this hotel anyway, so we cancel his room. And then we start charging the fucking thing. We're just like looping. I thought I was in L.A. I kept thinking like, oh, I'm in L.A. I got to get back. And he's like, we're in Chicago. I was like, oh, my God, you're just so out of sleep and just highway driving and shows and flights. It's a lot.
Right.
Frosties. So I was like, oh, God. So now we find a charger. We're just sitting there. And we're going, what's it at now? Oh, we'll walk around the block. What's it at now? You know, and it got up to about, I don't know, 28. And he's like, fuck it, let's go to bed. We slept in the same bed. And he's like, I'll just wake up early and let it charge. I'll wake up early and I'll go to Midway.
Oh.
So
This is all because he rented an EV.
I know, the EV. But he was like, what? I didn't think the F-150 was the move. I would have done the EV too. I'm not blaming him. He
All
has
right.
a Tesla too. And he's like, I love my Tesla.
But is the Tesla a hybrid?
No, but there's chargers everywhere, and the charge takes 20 minutes to fill it up.
Wow.
20 minutes
Wow,
versus
Musk.
12 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Muskegee.
So we sleep in the same bed, like planes, trains. Those aren't pillows. The whole
How about
thing.
those Bears? Chicago.
That's a great line. Great movie. So I think I went to bed. We finally turned the light out. We go, nobody talk. We're turning the light on. Somebody goes, you see Barbie? You're like, all right, shut up. No chit chat. So we're laying there. It's about 4 a.m. My flight's at 7:30. Got to be there at 6:30. I think I conked out for an hour. Get up, get a lift, or get a shuttle to the airport, and I made it home.
Wow.
That was it.
Brutal.
Yeah.
All because the goddamn EV.
The EV,
Well,
yeah.
and the alarm.
And
the
the
wallet.
alarm. That was on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alarm and wallet on you, the EV, him.
Yeah, yeah.
Boy, but that guy's, the John Van Kirk or
Daniel.
Dick Van Dyke, whatever his name is, that guy really saved the day.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I got everything. But yeah, that was about it. But I mean, already compounding with all the other flights in Montreal and everything before that, it was like, well, we'll do this quick gig in Davenport and get in, get out. And it was hell on earth. I mean, the wallet was the real whopper.
Yeah. Or Frosty.
Yes.
I
Junior
mean-
bacon cheese.
I mean, the thing about it is, it's all becomes fun and funny,
Yeah.
but it's the classic old thing. How do you make God laugh? You tell him your plans for the future. It's the old
Right,
thing of like,
right.
I'm going to shoot down to Davenport.
Yeah.
I'll just run on down there, do a couple of shows, make a few bucks. And it just, the world just takes a big shit on your tits.
Yeah, the EV. And we didn't factor that in, that it might just drop down, and then the wallet, of course. Then at one point, we're moving the Barca Lounger. We're pouring sweat. We're breathing out vodka, going, how the fuck did we get here? Like, I'm
Right.
looking at him over a Barca Lounger, like, what the hell is going on? And the old lady's like, move it to the left, to the left. I'm like, this is great. We're in an old folks' home right now.
Well, that's the fun thing about comedy and sort of alternative career path is it takes you to a lot of places that you're like, this is insane.
That's
this doesn't
true.
make any sense.
No, you're right. And thank God this Van Kirk guy is from Rochelle.
Yeah, God bless you, Danny Van Kirk.
Yes.
DVK. Check out. Do you have a special, a YouTube,
He's
a
got
thing?
a hot pod with Rory, and I think the Sklar brothers, too. I don't know. He's all over the place.
No
He's a very
kidding.
talented guy.
He's very talented.
Yeah.
So, go check that out. Hot plug for Dan Van Kirk. I got to check him out, too. I mean, Rory's one of my favorite comedians all time.
Oh, killer. He was there the week before, and I was like, how did he make it? He didn't miss his flight, I guess, or get an EV.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, oof, Davenport, we made it. We did it. We did 3 of the shows. One lady called us misogynist after the show, but that's a whole nother bag of hammers.